Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I just recorded a video a moment ago, but I thought, you know what, I just keep the ball rolling and strike while the iron's hot. Because last night, I finally started catching up on some of those film releases in the cinema that I've been sorely dying to see. And of course, I'm talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. You know, before even talking about the film itself, the previous film, Into the Spider-Verse, was such a revelatory experience. Even to this day, one of the best superhero films. I'm not even talking about Marvel, I'm just talking about superhero films in general of all time. I'm literally ranking up there with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. So when I saw that Across the Spider-Verse was announced, I was worried and thinking like, are we just going to milk the cow here? But luckily, that couldn't be further from the truth. If you had told me that artistically this film would have not only reached the previous film's heights, but wildly exceeded them to the point where the previous one becomes obsolete, I would have laughed you out of the room. I wouldn't have believed you. I do not even comprehend how that would have been possible. And yet, they've done that. It is such a mesmerizing and wildly, fiercely creative experience like nothing you've ever seen before. The level of artistry and animation is just industry best. The visuals of this film truly are enough to just pay the entry fee to see it in the cinema. But I was also surprised by how emotionally intelligent this film is. Of course, there's a wonderful sense of action and adventure in the film, but how the film handled the more intimate moments. There's some truly fantastic character development moments to be found not only for Miles Morales, but for many of the cast itself. I'm going to keep this review really short because I do have a lot of other videos that I want to talk about, and I do think that this is such a no-brainer. Everyone knows that this thing is awesome, and I'm just going to be here to repeat it to you guys. If there are any negative points, maybe a little bit the film does drag a bit in its pacing. There are a few moments that I felt could have had a bit of a fat trim from them, but for the most part it's just super exciting, inspiring, exhilarating, and funny as hell too. I was laughing for much of the film, and I'm not alone. The rest of the crowd was also laughing. And also for the crowd itself, props to you guys. It was 10:20 p.m. at night when we started watching the film, and we were maybe like 30-40 people in the crowd. Everyone had a blast. I know that other superhero films haven't been doing quite as well at the box office, but this one seems to be just doing fantastically, and there's no shortage of reasons why it would have this kind of raging success. But arguably the most disappointing part about the film, which has nothing to do with the content of the film itself, will be the more political and production aspect of it. Perhaps many of you have heard by now. If you haven't, well, it seems that about 100 animators literally just quit the project because they just couldn't handle the stress and pressure anymore. It really is disappointing because on one side, the work they created is just phenomenal, industry best, and they deserve to be praised. And if for no other reason, I really do hope you take this praise to heart because you guys really worked your ass off, and thank you. It was just phenomenal. At the same time, it's just so disappointing that we can't properly pay our employees and also just give them time to just not burn themselves out. If the film is as good as it is, man, I will wait an extra year for you guys. This really is a massive landmark achievement in film animation that I think is rapidly becoming a classic. I can't wait for the third installment, and I do think this is going to be one of the better films of the year. This is a rock solid 9.0 out of 10. Once again, I'm more than happy to wait a year or more if the result is going to be this goddamn good. So for the third installment in this trilogy, I believe, if memory serves me well, it will be called Beyond the Spider-Verse. Guys, take your time. We will wait for it if it is even a quarter of the quality of these last two films. Man, what a ride. Alright, enough video recording for me for one day. I'm gonna chop these videos up as soon as I can. I am quite busy, but I'm excited to be back home and to continue getting back to my creative activities, to my life, to really like all my plans and aspirations that I have. More videos are coming, so stay tuned. As always, wishing you and your loved ones nothing but the best. Take care and talk to you as soon as I can.